So, Impa's a seeker in this game and a Sheikah a warrior. So, as I promised before, now that the Tokyo Game Show reveal has come, it's time for discussion on Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, the sequel to the original Hyrule Warriors, which was a Warriors Musou spin off of the Legend of Zelda series, and as title implies, a prequel to the events of Breath of the Wild, which will play out how the events that led up to that game before Zelda, Link, and the four champions went into hiding and were asleep for essentially a century. I mean, with the Goron champion Daruk, the Zora champion Mifa, the Rudo champion and Rivali, and the Gerudo champion Urbosa. Yeah. And even as someone who's not the biggest fan of the original Dynasty Warriors, I do like this gameplay style. I played other ones like including the previous ones, so I am definitely low-key excited for this game when it launches on November 20th. So, even though they've only had a couple of ultras so far, as well as about 13 minutes of actual gameplay footage, they show a lot in those 13 minutes, and it was clear to me, on top of the line, a lot of material that's been set forth and only hinted at before, they are definitely making some good use of it. And even though this is probably not going to be the same order of magnitude as like the Breath of the Wild sequel that's in development, I hear it might not be called Breath of Evil, but we'll see. Hey, I am definitely hoping that this will be an enjoyable experience in the meantime. And I kind of understand why Nintendo themselves just set this one out, as well as that's why they had to push the sequel back to next year. Here, I mean, I think Miyamoto himself has said as much. So I still have taken that to heart. I mean, even though it's always ideal, it's been said that, in his words, that had a delay games eventually good, and a rush games for a bad, or what's that effect. So, I'm definitely also hoping that they'll be able to really flesh out more what happened, because on top of the Link, Zelda, and the Champions being in slumber, they also lost their memory when they wake up. They had to relearn anything in the century because associative line claims we have to be like coming for recess, but boy, I know the way this is presented, there's no recess, there's no class, yes, and there is no school. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? That's and all that aside, whatever happens when this game and what all they have intended for the 35th anniversary series is given how there's the right time because I formally announced the original Breath of the Wild being originally going from like a pure or Wii U title to a this joint on like the last big one for the Wii U and the first big one on the Switch, which is a good decision in hindsight if I do say so myself. And it made total sense to me why they did that. I mean, so here's hoping that they'll keep expanding upon what has been done here. And same deal like with the Crown Tundra, what else coming to 25th anniversary of Pokemon as well. I just thought I've wanted to do this as ever since the review earlier this month. And whatever happens next Direct or the next Smash card getting unveiled, I'll definitely be titling that as well, on top of other stuff like I'm gonna be reviewing some spooky movies in October, whether theaters are open or not. And that includes my Josh Revenge review, so and some other stuff we'll give out a Pixar Marathon. So anyway, that's what I would say for this for now. Tell me what you think about this game, and I will definitely see you all later. Yeah.